Hi, this is Dino from FFTV The High Press, and this is the first of its kind for the new season. It is a match preview. So each week I'm going to preview one match that it's a bit selfish really, but it's kind of one that takes my fancy. And for this week, I've chosen Newcastle versus Villa on Saturday at 12:30 at St James's Park. Now, the reason I've chosen this is because both teams play good football. Amazing changes since Gerrard left and Emery come in to take over at Villa, and they really pushed hard to the end of the season and finished really well. But on the other side, Newcastle did finish fourth, though they had an outstanding season under Eddie Howe. But I see this as a very, very close games. Both are attacking, both are aiming for that top four, and that's why I've chosen it. So let's have a look at the head-to-head. Now, in the Premier League last year, a bit of a weird one, 4-0 at home, Newcastle versus Villa, and Villa almost returned the favour in the other fixture at Villa Park when they won 3-0. Now, both teams have just met in the US in the summer series for the Premier League. What a fantastic tournament that was. If you've not caught it, please try and catch some highlights of it on YouTube, but make sure you watch it next year. The football was outstanding. And in that game, they cancelled each other out in a 3-3 draw. So things are looking good if you're looking for an entertaining match, although it's probably going to be 0-0 after I've said that, kiss of death. But it's always fairly high scoring. Now, in the summer series, Buendia was involved in all 3 goals. And I'm going to come back to Buendia in the news on the injury side a little bit later. So let's have a look at Newcastle's transfer window so far this season. Remember, the window's not shut yet. And they've brought in some fantastic players in Harvey Barnes, an incredible winger from Leicester. Very jealous that they've got him. He's a goal-scoring winger. He also misses a lot. He does miss a lot. I remember him missing a few against Forest at the City Ground. But he does score a hatful for a midfielder. They've also signed cultured midfielder Sandro Tonali and Tino Livramento from Southampton, who's a fantastic fullback. So I think they've not made a lot of signings, but do they need a lot of signings? I think they need a centre-back still left, but they do have a very good squad as it is. The only real outgoing was Alain Saint-Maximin, who, flattered to deceive sometimes. He was very fast, very tricky, but had no end product. And I think Barnes actually is a better player than ASM. In terms of Villa, they've had Torres, Diaby, and 2 amazing pickups for free, Richard and Tielemans, both of which are probably going to be in the starting lineup for a lot of games this season. Moving on to who's available and the injury list for Newcastle, Shaw is injured with a hamstring. Willock is also injured with a hamstring, but his is a little bit more serious, so he's going to be out for a bit longer. And Manquillo is injured with a groin injury. In terms of Aston Villa's injury list, well, this is fairly major. They've got Duran injured, not major maybe, but Buendia is apparently now injured with a serious knee injury, and he's going to be out for about 8 months. So that, when you look at people coming back from injuries like that, that's a season killer. So really Villa are going to struggle without him, in my opinion. He's such a good player. Also, Dendoncker is out with a muscle injury and Ramsey with a pretty serious metatarsal. So let's take a look at the predicted lineup. Now, if we look at Newcastle's lineup, I think they're going to line up with a 4-3-3. With the pace of Anthony Gordon on the right-hand side, Isaac in the middle and Almiron on the left. With a really good-looking midfield now with Guimaraes, a player that I absolutely adore, Tonali, the new signing, and Joe Linton. And the ever-reliable, ever-high-scoring FPL player, Kieran Trippier, on the right-hand side. In terms of Villa, I think their player to watch has got to be Ollie Watkins, hasn't it? I mean, he had a fantastic season last season and really shone under Unai Emery. Other picks there is Diaby in midfield. Torres will probably start on the left-hand side. And I predict that Aston Villa will line up in a 4-2-3-1. So let's have a look at the odds. And I've chosen Paddy Power here. Now, the odds for a Newcastle win at home is 7-10 on. So they're hot favourites for this one. Villa for an away win of 15-4 and a draw at 12-5. And High Press have picked the draw. I just think they're going to cancel each other out. I think the recent Summer series will be probably the most likely result, but if not, Newcastle to shade it, but I'm sticking on a draw. I hope you enjoy this content. I mentioned FPL there. If you like playing Fantasy Premier League, please head over to our sister channel, and that's FFTV Premier League. And we've got a league running there with already a stack of people in it. So please join that. I'm in there as Forest of Dean. If you beat me, you can banter, no problem. And remember to follow all of our other channels that I'm going to link in the end screen here. And I hope you enjoyed the content. I'll see you soon.